Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
When I first joined Dr. Bernard Stanson's lab as a postdoctoral researcher, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. His reputation in environmental science was formidable, and his federal grant on coastal erosion was massive. He promised me a $10,000 startup budget for specialized sonar equipment and direct access to a cutting-edge deep-sea sensor array in the Atlantic. This was my chance, my career launchpad, here at a prestigious university in Lakeside, New Hampshire. But the dream quickly soured. Bernard, it turned out, was a master of passive aggression and financial obfuscation. My equipment orders were perpetually delayed or rerouted for another project. The sensor array, essential for my data collection, was always under maintenance when I needed it, yet I'd see his pet grad students using it freely. My $10,000 budget slowly dwindled, Bernard claiming it was for unexpected grant overhead or shared lab consumables, expenses I knew were inflated or entirely fabricated. He'd lock equipment I needed, conveniently, forgetting to give me the key or subtly tamper with my samples, forcing me to restart experiments. My work was stalling, my deliverables for my own smaller subgrant were at risk, and my future publications, critical for tenure-track applications, looked bleak. Two other junior researchers, Liam and Chloe, confided in me that they were experiencing similar petty sabotages. Then came the email. Bernard declared my performance subpar and insufficient for the project's rigorous demands, effectively suggesting I leave and find another lab. Crucially, he made it clear the remainder of my startup budget, which I knew was at least $8,000, would not be returned. It was a thinly veiled theft and an attempt to crush my career. I was furious, but more than that, I was devastated. Everything I had worked for was being jeopardized by this arrogant man's greed. I decided then and there that he would not get away with it. I started documenting everything. Every email from Bernard, every lab entry showing denied access, every budget report with mysterious deductions, every frustrated text from Liam and Chloe. I dug into university policy handbooks, federal grant regulations, and the state laws regarding financial disputes. I built a dossier that would make a lawyer proud, a meticulously organized stack of evidence detailing Bernard's pattern of abuse. My first step was the university's Research Ethics Board REB and the Office of Sponsored Programs, OSB. I presented my case, expecting a swift resolution. After a lengthy internal review, the REB found Bernard technically liable for only $2,500, citing poor communication rather than outright fraud. No trebling, no real recognition of the damage. Bernard, smug as ever, probably thought it was over, but I wasn't. His arrogance led him to appeal the REB's decision to the provost office, claiming my research had actually caused significant damage to his grant and that I was incompetent. He called me a liar, a rogue element who wasted resources. That was his fatal mistake. His appeal gave me the second chance I needed. I refined my 40-page packet, adding more damning evidence. Signed declarations from Liam and Chloe detailing similar experiences, expert testimony from my previous supervisor vouching for my competence, and intricate breakdowns of Bernard's grant expenditures showing blatant diversions. I didn't just cite university policies. I cited federal grant guidelines, ethical conduct codes, and New Hampshire statutes for deceptive practices. The appeal hearing at the provost office was intense. Bernard rambled, making outlandish claims without a shred of evidence. He tried to discredit me, but my meticulously prepared case, complete with page numbers, a table of contents, and clear legal citations, was irrefutable. The provost listened patiently, then delivered a verdict that sent shockwaves through the room. Bernard was found in gross violation of research ethics and financial stewardship. The provost not only ordered him to repay my full $10,000 startup budget, but also assessed an additional $20,000 in compensatory damages for career disruption and emotional distress, recognizing the systemic harm he had inflicted. My initial award had just been effectively tripled to $30,000. Bernard was apoplectic. He refused to pay, claiming the university had no authority to seize his funds. He stalled for months, hoping I'd give up. He didn't know me very well. Armed with the provost's binding ruling, I went to a lawyer, then filed a civil claim in the state district court, effectively converting the university's administrative decision into a legally enforceable judgment. I then obtained a writ of execution. With the help of a state marshal, I tracked down his personal investment accounts, linked to his direct deposit from the university, which were largely public record for a pie of his stature. The marshal served the papers to his investment bank, freezing his accounts. After the mandatory waiting period, they seized the full $30,000, plus interest and marshal fees. 2 years after I first arrived in Lakeside, I received the check. The fallout for Bernard was devastating. The federal granting agency, alerted by the provost's findings, immediately launched a full audit of his entire grant history. His PI status was revoked, all his current grants were frozen, and he was effectively blacklisted from applying for future federal funding. His lab was dismantled, his graduate students and postdocs scattered. His academic reputation was in tatters, and he was eventually encouraged to retire, a euphemism for being fired and stripped of his tenure. His career, built on decades of research, was utterly destroyed, and his personal finances took a crippling hit. It was a long, arduous fight, but holding that check in my hand felt like true justice. He thought he could steal from me and ruin my career with impunity. He learned a very expensive lesson about underestimating a determined postdoc. Bernard Stanson deserved every bit of what he got. I didn't just get my money back. I cleared the path for future researchers and ensured he could never harm another student or postdoc again.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.